Hey divas! I'm finally back in civilization. And given the fact that I'm just getting over food poisoning, let's talk about the time I had a 26-hour flight to Portugal that ended up getting delayed, where I ended up seeing my god-awful ex while I had food poisoning. And just as a brief update for today, I'm definitely not out of the throes of it. I have been eating so slowly, which sucks because I'm an eater. But slowly, I finally gotten enough strength back to go run a couple errands before the timer runs out. So let's get into it. Last summer, right, me and my friend decide we're gonna go to Portugal. We're gonna go to the Azores. It's important to note that me and this friend lived together, and we were planning on just doing a month-long trip, and then like 3 weeks before the trip, she was like, hey, just so you know, I'm not coming back. So then the week before the trip, not only was I packing nonstop for the trip, because it was a month-long trip and the weather was all over the place, but she had also asked me to throw a going away party for her, so I was also trying to plan that and get invites out and get decorations and food. And somewhere within this week, I ended up falling so ill. I want to say it was about 4 days before the trip and about 3 days before her going away party, and I was just unwell. Couldn't eat anything, couldn't drink anything. To the point where I genuinely was questioning canceling my trip. So then day of the trip comes along, we have a couple hours until the flight, and I have absolutely nothing packed because I had just been writhing in bed outside of her party. Which, yes, I still set up in the Arizona sun. Never say I'm not a trooper. 3 hours before the flight comes, we're supposed to leave in an hour, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna power through. I start throwing just random things in my suitcase. I end up forgetting like half of the things I actually purchased for the trip, which would have been really useful. By the time we had to leave, my room was in shambles, and I just had to leave it like that. We had to go at that point. We end up going to the airport, and it's me, her sister, and her sister's husband. And at this point, I am delusional. I am feverish. I am shaking. I am sweating so god awfully. And now it's important to note that no matter when I travel, if I choose to check a bag, it will get lost on another continent. So I slapped an AirTag in there, went to the check-in, and I look over to my left, and who do I see? I see the ex that rocked my shit. And I mean, this man sent me to the hospital. So seeing him while I had a fever and was delusional, I quite literally dropped my backpack, said I had to go, and ran into the bathroom, just trusting that my friend would watch it. My bag's already checked in at this point, so I text her. I'm like, hey, this is the sitch. This is the guy you see out there. Can you please just meet me around the corner? We head to our gate. Our first flight is 5 hours. It's from Phoenix to JFK, and I hate JFK with a passion. I love traveling, but if I ever see JFK or Heathrow on my itinerary, it makes me want to die, because there's quite literally never been a time I've flown into either of those two places and there hasn't been some major catastrophe. We get to the gate, we board the plane. I am immediately just sweating and sleeping the entire time. I'm pretty small on a flight, so I was pretty much just like this the entire time. We get to JFK, we have an 8-hour layover. And now the sister had said, don't worry guys, I'll get us a day room, that way we can get some rest, because the next leg of the trip, I want to say it was 16 hours. Well, we walk into the day room, and what I didn't know is that I would be sharing one bed and a small cot between 4 adults. So I had to cuddle up with my friend while I was violently shaking and sweating for 8 hours. We all wake up, we all get ready to go. We head back to JFK 8 hours later, and it takes 3 hours to get through security. Like, we were the people that were sprinting to the gate at the last minute, which honestly, 3 hours for JFK, pretty easy. We get on the flight, and at this point, I'm locked in. I've barely eaten or drinking anything, but I'm like, I just need to get through the next 16 hours, and I'll be okay. Then I'll be in Portugal. We get on the plane, and guess what? We end up sitting there for 3 hours. 3 hours with no food or drinks. Granted, that didn't really apply to me much, but all of a sudden on the overhead, what do we hear? Hey guys, we have to deboard. Get off the plane. Okay? So we all trudge back off the plane, and apparently there were operational issues, so the plane couldn't go out. But the only issue with this is this was supposed to be the last plane to the island we were going to for the night. So we're running around trying to figure this out, right? I'm still delusional. I don't know what's happening. One way or another, my friend ended up finding another flight that was boarding like immediately, except this one was an 18-hour plane ride. But whatever, I hunkered down. At this point, I had put in too much work to not go to Portugal. And I just want to point out that at this point, I was wearing the same clothes I had been sweating in profusely for 2 days, so I felt gross. Yes, I should have packed clothes in my carry-on, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead, okay? And honestly, having the food poisoning might have helped being on an 18-hour flight, because I was just delusional and in and out of sleep the entire time. Luckily, I wasn't yakking or anything at this point in the food poisoning, but I just felt awful. At some point, I wake up with drool on my tray table, sorry to the flight attendants, and surprise, we're in Portugal. Listen, normally when I travel, as soon as I land, I want to get right out to it. I want to see everything. I want to do everything. I was too unwell. Finally, the sweet relief of stepping off onto another country's soil hits, and I go to check my AirTag location, and what do I see? all the way in New York. All I had were the clothes on my back. So the next few days, my friend obviously wanted to do something, but it was hit or miss if I decided I could do it or not. And especially because it's not really a fun feeling wearing the same clothes for 4 days and walking around the town. I didn't even have like my shampoo or conditioner or anything. The reason I bring this up is because I got an email from the airline over a year later. This happened last June, and they finally offered me €600. And this was also the same airline that left me abandoned in New York overnight because none of the crew showed up. And I don't know why, but my entire life I've flown, and I've never had any issues until the scary time 2020 hit. I don't know what happened there. Since then, every single flight I taken, there is some major issue. I'm the only one that sees that.